Welcome back to Johnny Custom Glock's front sight press, where I got to put this in front of my face and drive me crazy the whole show. All right, so we're not on. You can't see if we're on. So Carrie, we're not linked to Facebook. Is that what's going on?
We have Lana, Kat,
Yeah.
James Matthews,
Get rid of the
Vern's
pellets.
on.
Hey,
All right, good deal.
all right
Five
then.
people.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So it's just Julie and I tonight. Just me and much more fun with the windows.
Yep.
All right, let me get this. There we go. So I can. Perfect. It drives me crazy when it's in a little window. Never mind when it's just.
Yeah.
We definitely need to green screen this.
I know. Vern says, "Did I win?"
Wow. Everybody, hurry up before Sean gets in.
No kidding. Sean and Maria.
So we're gonna talk about training tonight, about close quarter, room clearing. Not that there's any reason for that, but we're gonna have some of those classes coming up, the Emporium and stuff like that. We're working a new instructor into the family, so should be pretty good. We'll talk about him in a little bit. But like, share, comment. Excuse me. How many do you have the clipboard tonight?
I don't. I've got everything from May.
Have we given away? Well, it's still May, right?
Yeah, we have to.
Did we do April?
I
Carrie, did we give away April last yet, or are we still behind on that? Well, we don't have April here. All right. All right, we'll figure that out. So everybody get their beverage of choice. All right. If you still haven't for some reason, like who's on right now? Okay, I can tell who I'm talking to.
We've got Vern, Kat, Lana, James Matthews, Barry, Chris.
All right, so everybody there has already been over to YouTube and liked and shared on Musings with MGL. All right, check us out on Rumble. If you haven't set up an account on Rumble yet, go over there and set up an account. All right, so I joined up with my good friend Isaac today. We have decided that we're going to be partners because he is, a Rumble genius, and I'm lucky to catch him when he's not too busy.
Mm-hmm. Lisa.
And we're going to be starting to put out stuff. So we'll start off with Gable and I's channel. He don't eat and I don't cook. So we'll do that. And then shortly after that, we'll do a Mad Dog McGowan channel where that'll be gun stuff, training, gear, stuff like that. And then there's other channels. The girls, I'm trying to get them to do a channel. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of Rumble stuff coming up. So if you haven't signed up for Rumble, go sign up for Rumble. All right, because what it's going to look like is we will put stuff up on YouTube. All right, and basically say, like, if you would like to see the good stuff that we can't put on this video, go over to Rumble, because that's where the full video will be with everything that we're doing and stuff like that. So that's what's coming down the pike. So we'll talk about everything else after we spank our sponsors and do the toast. So let's get to the spanking. So we'd like to thank our king sponsor. That sounds good, huh?
Yeah, it does.
Johnny Custom Glocks, because life is way, way, way too short to have a Glock trigger that sucks. So if you got a G-Lock, go get yourself a Johnny Custom Glocks, get yourself a JCG trigger. If you have a 43X or a 48, all right, put my hand behind it, like on YouTube and Instagram, stuff like that. Get yourself one of them. You'll love it. If you got a big gun, try out one of the other triggers. Is take your pick. All right. The only difference I would say is if you're wearing a concealed carry one, get a combat trigger. Don't get a competition one. If you're shooting competition that you can have a competition trigger, then have at it. But there is a difference in the pressure between a combat and a competition trigger. All right. They are the best Glock triggers out there. If you had all the inside information that I have, you would know what I'm talking about. But since I can't talk about anything, don't take my word. All right. So there you go. Our jester sponsor, Sean Hilton at smokeshow3d.com.
Woo! Yeah, baby.
All right. Don't forget to use your Fsp 10 to get 10% off. If for some reason you still haven't won an armor's block and you got a G-Lock, just go friggin' buy one. All right. I can't believe that with all the names he puts up, you can't find yourself underneath one of his names. It's all you got to do. Right. So like and share, and comment so your name's on the wheel. All right. And start liking, sharing all over the place because he's not on right now, right?
Not yet.
All right. You got a head start. The world has a head start. The world did pretty good against him last week, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, you guys, world wins like every, 6 times.
Ed Adamski's on.
Hey. So, go over there, check them out. Don't forget to use Fsp 10 and get your 10% off. But if you got a G-Lock, just go spend the money and get the armor's block if you can't win. Or ask Maria or Kat because they have like 30 of them each.
Yeah. If you can buy one.
Yeah. They're gonna merge together and start their own company.
Yeah.
It'll be called Smoke Show 3DB. All right. And not to forget the Self-Defense Emporium.
Mm-hmm.
I think I surprised her a little bit with that one. Can you? Oh, well, you're watching it. You see the show anyway. Right?
Sean's on. He's already shared 20 times.
Oh. Hi.
Steve Coase is on.
Hey. So, all right. So let's do the toast, and then we'll get to talking shit and stuff like that. All right. So this toast is about people that stand by you no matter what's going on. They're always there for you. It goes to something like this. You know what rhymes with Thursday? Alcohol.
Yeah.
Woo! All right, here we go.
Good taste, but it burns. Firewater.
What's that, 90 proof, something like that?
92 or 90.
92?
95.
It's got a good flavor, though.
It does have good flavor.
Definitely didn't burn like, what was it, last week?
Yeah, last week didn't taste good and it burned. This is...
It's only 62.
This is, where is it? 52.5 alcohol, so it's what?
52.5?
Yeah.
So it's 105 proof?
That's right. Yep.
You got to give me a little bit more heads up. There's a big difference between 105 and 90.
Yeah, 105 proof. Woohoo!
Well, that's definitely tastes good then. All right. So the Emporium's coming closer and closer. We're down to the real nitty gritty stuff. So, we will be open like really soon. I don't want to give you a date. I don't want to say anything because every time we say something, something goes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say we're a lot closer than we were last week.
Yeah.
Had inspections done. We got one more inspection, and that's it. Once that happens, it's just tightening everything up, finishing up what they say to do, and then we will be open. All right. So it's been pretty good. In the last week, we've had a lot of guys in charge of training in the area for law enforcement stopping in. The local training, their new training facility is like an hour from here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like on the other side of Wachula or something like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me. So they're very excited about being able to do stuff in their own backyard. And had some just really cool guys. It's good to see people that are in charge of training that know what they're doing. All right, because I can tell you that I deal a lot with law enforcement and all over the place, and standards aren't always what I would like them to be. I get very excited when I'm talking to people and they're doing stuff to like our standards. I love hearing. Yeah, we train with Delta Force at least once a year. Like I love hearing that because then I know that like they're using the same stuff that they're teaching the same stuff we teach. Talked to a guy today. We're talking about the new standards for FDLE training, and if you ask me, it's unsafe and it's not good. And he's like, "Yeah, we don't do that. There's no way we're doing that." So the new standards, they're like, I'm excited that they're trying to make it the standards something instead of just stand in front of the paper and we'll make the target big enough so that when you shoot, you friggin' pass. Okay, and a lot of law enforcement stuff is like that. But I've just been very fortunate in the last week to talk to guys and find out that, the law enforcement agencies around here are doing it right. It's very exciting. I've been doing this a long time, and like I said, I've dealt with people all over the place, and it's just like, nope. You know what I mean? Like people that get paid to carry guns should understand that they're being paid to carry a gun, and that gun is more to protect other people than it is to protect themselves. And I get very excited when agencies are taking that seriously. Makes me feel good, especially when these agencies are right around where I live. So I'm seeing a lot of, like, I deal with a lot of retired cops coming from places, and it's just like, well, it's kind of like, it's like, you know what 1970s called? They want the gun and your tactics back. You know what I mean? So when the agencies in the area, their training guys are doing what they're supposed to be doing, it's just, it makes me feel good inside. I can tell you that.
Sean wanted to know if we're open on Monday, and I told him no.
Nope.
And he said, Mike McGowan, but that's the only day I can come. I'll bring food, and you have the keys.
Don't bribe a fat guy with food. But if you needed to come up and you want to do it on Monday, let me know, and I'll go open it up. So I don't know why I'm looking at your iPad to talk to Sean. So Sean, you just let me know. So Sean, yeah, if you just call me, Sean, you know that. Like the place is, like I said, it's not finished. There's still things we need to button up. We got one more big inspection coming next week, and then after that, we should be off to the races. So,
Can't wait.
but we got a new guy bringing into the family. Very cool. I don't know if I can say his name, but he's 16 years Secret Service. After that, he was 8 years Special Operations Division. And then after that, he was 8 years instructor for the Special Operations Division for the Secret Service. So, like, talking to him, just picking his brain, seeing what he knows, stuff like that is just, it's just great. So, we're going to have like another branch that comes in and just, we can figure out, we can take a look, get some new stuff, some of the same stuff, some new stuff. Once again, like Secret Service, obviously, when you get up into that, and then you get into the special operations guys of Secret Service, you're taking it to another level. And once again, it's, I love it when he says, we train with Delta because we want to know what they know. We want to know what the terrorists are doing. We got to know. We don't ever want to be surprised and stuff like that. So it's, just to be able to offer more stuff, that's what's coming. So we're never standing still. We're always moving forward. We're always trying to keep our, techniques and tactics, whatever's coming down from tier 1. And I can't wait to just sit down and go through some stuff with him to see what they've been teaching and stuff like that. But once again, we're just trying to take it to another level. So looking pretty good.
I can't wait. Yay.
I want to give a shout out to Billy over at North River Jiu-Jitsu. Come to find out, they're like 100 yards. He came in, was it yesterday he came in?
Yes.
He came in yesterday, talked. Very excited to talk to him. Looking forward to hopefully getting together and do some, crossover stuff with those guys. Just everything's looking really good right now. People that are calling me, people that are coming in, people that are saying, can we go here? Like, there's nothing better than saying, would you mind if the SWAT guys came here and trained? Like, we can work something out. Yep. Can't find out one of my friends is now SWAT commander. Just got promoted a little while ago. He was a little upset that I already knew about it. Like, let me tell you what your boy just happened to your boy. I'm like, I know that. He's like, how do you know that? I'm like, I got a guy.
You have connections.
I got a guy told me. Obviously very proud of my kids when they grow up to be, just like all these kids that I had, that I was coaching and teaching and, stuff like that, and see them grow up to be special operations, SWAT commander, stuff like that. And just not only that, but like mainly just great friggin' people. You know what I mean? They're just like, it's like one of your own. It's one of your own kids. I'm like, hey, just like, man, I'm so proud of you all the time. Like, I have my own company, or like I have 4 of my own companies with Ryan, stuff like that. It's just, it's great seeing the kids grow up. It makes you feel friggin' old when he says, yeah, I got 20 years in. I'm like, how do you have 20 years? I'm like, oh, wow, I'm old. I'm like really old. I was thinking about that today, that how I used to say, man, it sucks getting old, right? Which has changed to now, it sucks being old.
Time flies.
But we'll have a lot of cool things coming up. It has really like grown into something I didn't see coming with the people that are coming in and talking to me and, stuff like that. Like, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. It's like, whoa. Really cool, like, cops, firefighters, deputies, stuff like that, like EMT, just all the first responder stuff is that, and the military stuff that we have is just something that I've been, putting together and trying to put together for a long time, and all of a sudden it's happening without me doing any work, right? So not that the Emporium hasn't been any work, but everything that's fallen into it, and the people that are calling me, hey, I was wondering if I could come on down, take a tour, come do what you want, you know what I mean, come see it. So it's been really cool. So when we get, like, if anybody's out there, just give me a call if you want to see what it is, and I'll take you in there. If I got time, I'll put you on the simulator or whatever. But come check it out, because we're about to open, and when we open, I think we're going to be kind of busy.
So
at least that's what everybody's telling me.
yeah.
Oh, I got to tell one of the training officers in the area today. I go, let's do this. Let's stop talking right now so I can take you up there and show you the building and watch your fucking head blow up. He's like, all right, let's do that. It's like, Mike, this is awesome. This is. I love when I take somebody up there and I can't get them off the simulator.
How long was Omar on there?
Omar was on there 4 hours. This guy today was on there for like an hour. He's like, just let me try one more time. I'm like, all right, man. Oh, you're gonna get this guy up here. I go. He goes, I'll call him. I go, I'll call him. Like Murphy goes, he's the SWAT commander? Yeah. I know him. I'm like, yes, you know him. Like, that's ours, right? I'm like, yeah, that's ours. She goes, that is awesome.
Lots of good people in this area.
Yep, it's really cool.
Yeah. And if you want to train, that's even better.
Yeah, it's like I got to tell you, like, for the longest time, dealing with, like, a lot of law enforcement, and a lot of it comes from my last job being there and having them come in. And the only reason they're in there is because they have to come in and shoot a box because they're qualifying the next day. So they shoot twice a year, and it's just like, I mean, to have, like, people carrying guns that don't know what gun they have and stuff like that, to go from that mentality to the way it is now, it's just like, feel a lot better. To have the guy that's at my kid's school, just like,
oh yeah, he's awesome.
Like, don't put your hands near his mouth while he's eating, okay? Like, is not the guy. So there's a lot of good stuff. I can tell you this: you're a lot safer now than you were 6, 7, 8 years ago if you live in this area, with the people that are running stuff and the way they're doing things and stuff like that. It's not perfect. I'm not telling you that everybody out there takes it as seriously as they should. But I can tell you that the people that I know that are in this area that are in charge of things, like training and stuff like that, are just giving me a friggin' tingle, all right, with the way they're doing stuff. It really is great, all right, that I don't have to say sarcastic things like 1970s called. They want their fucking training back. It's like, in 1972, they sent a memo out to all law enforcement agencies saying, stop teaching the Weaver stance. And that was a long fucking time ago, and you're still doing it. So it's good not to see that, just to let you know. But I want to talk about some training, all right? So how I feel about it. So as far as, like, your self-defense stuff, okay? So first of all, get out and train. Like, go to the range and shoot, but then you have to train. And it just so happens I know a place you'll be able to do that soon. All right? But you got to get out and train. And you got to walk through things at your house. So get yourself, some airsoft guns or some, blue guns or whatever. And, talk what it would be like if you're a couple and say you wake up in the middle of the night. So what would happen if you heard somebody kicking your door in the middle of the night? What would you do? Okay. Do you have kids? Can you just barricade in, right? Do you have cameras that you can see from your bedroom? Stuff like that. Is your gun in a safe? Have you tried to open it under extreme stress? So all these things are just things that you really should, walk through and try. Like every now and then, I used to play, basically Gabriel and I playing cops and robbers so I can get him to understand how to do stuff. All right. Then again, the only time he did it by himself, I freaking yelled at him.
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing? What? This is mine, right? Put it back. So, you got to walk through these things. You got to know what you're doing. You got to know how to do it. All right. So you got to practice it. You got to practice it if you live by yourself. Okay. You got to practice it if you have kids. You got to practice it if you're a couple. If you're a couple with kids, you got to understand, what your fields of fire are, where bullets are going to go, and what tactics you're actually going to use. People say, well, just stay in your bedroom. What if you have kids? Tell them to stay in the bedroom. Everybody just stays in the bedroom. Let the bad guy go to your kid's room. Right? So, you got to practice this stuff, and you got to practice. You got to have some way to practice under stress, which you can do in a shoot house. I just want to throw that one out there.
Yeah.
You can do it in a shoot house. All right. Oh, this one's broken.
Oh, let me fix that.
So, with a little bit of stress, so we will, when we're open, one of the first things we'll do is we'll run some sort of CQB class, how to pie corners, how to enter rooms. Maybe we'll do husband and wife or two-man team or whatever, right? So that you can go home and set up your own defense plan and stuff like that. Okay. When we open up, we're definitely going to advertise some sort of cool guy class. So that's probably what's coming down the pike. Just let you know, a little secret. That'll be probably one of the first freaking classes we do is some sort of CQB type of class, right? Airsoft is great. Okay. Simunitions is better. It hurts. So, the more fear you can have, the less you cheat. It's like I always tell everybody, I will charge an airsoft gun just to take the chance to win, whether it's a bad tactic or not, just to see if I can get away without getting hit. I don't think I'm charging any simunition guns. I definitely don't want to be shot 4 times running down the hallway or something like that. Victory is great. It's a great feeling. Welts, not so much. So, we will just have a bunch of stuff coming down the pike, and I want everybody really to start thinking about training, not so much because that's the business that we're in, but because that is what you actually need. All right. And it's too late to train after you get attacked. I just want to throw that out there. We will try to do a bunch of stuff, have different groups, have different competitions, stuff like that, run as many classes as we can because that's going to be the goal. Okay. Also learn some fighting. All right. So this has been a conversation I've heard a couple times in the last couple weeks, and people are trying to explain that people don't understand this, and honestly, I didn't know people didn't understand this. All right. So, excuse me. Just because you take self-defense training, you take some sort of martial art, you take some sort of fighting, whatever, that doesn't mean you're going to win. I want everybody to understand that. All right. And I want the women to listen because I want you guys to understand this, because this came up with me before with somebody who was telling me, she was taking this and she didn't need anything. And I'm just like, that's not the way it works. All right. So it's basically, if I had to explain it, it's like this. If a man is fighting a woman, and neither one of you have any training, most likely, and don't start making all the scenarios, okay? But if they're pretty much know nothing, the guy is probably going to win because he's stronger. Like, we are just stronger in the upper body. I'm stronger than Julie. All right. Now, if we are both trained and we have the same training, it's the same thing. I'm still going to win. All right. Now, if the woman has more training, there is a better chance of her winning through technique than through strength. So basically, it's like this. If you know friggin' jujitsu, okay, or Brazilian jiu-jitsu, or my new term, American jiu-jitsu, right? If you just know some sort of jiu-jitsu-y stuff, okay, and you get attacked by somebody who's untrained, you have a much better chance of winning, okay? Like, out of all the stuff that I've trained in, that I've seen and stuff like that, like, I'm going with jiu-jitsu is what you want to learn, okay? I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with the other martial arts. So before some Tai Chi guy starts getting all upset at me or whatever, I'm just saying when it comes to fighting, like, and it's like this, and you want to train in like no gi, right? Because no one's ever wearing a kimono or whatever when they're friggin' fighting.
Nope.
All right, so you want to learn to fight. Like, everybody that comes in that has martial arts like background, they say, "Well, what are you gonna teach here?" And I'm like, "Fighting." And they're like, "Well, what kind of fighting?" I'm like, the fighting kind, like
Fighting to win.
Yeah, it's not a competition. We're not, belt oriented. We're going to teach you how to fight. So whatever we can take from whatever we want to take it from, if I can find something from a dishwashing technique that you can use to beat some evil fuck with, we will be teaching it there. It'll be like dishwashing technique 101. Right? And that's what you'll be using, because if it works, we're going to teach it. All right? We have different, people that train in different arts and stuff like that. Like, all I care about is fighting. I'm very, very excited to actually getting back into martial arts type of stuff. I mean, most of my fights against adults, like most of my percentage of my fights, all right, have been on skates, okay? Because you don't go to jail. Beat somebody up. On skates, you don't go to jail. You just sit in a box and feel shame for 2 minutes and they let you out. Or they tell you can't play anymore for today and don't come back next week unless I was playing in that freaking really cool league up in Oldsmar where the owner loved me and said, "Oh, don't worry about it. You sat out Thursday. He doesn't play on Shut up."
Love it.
I was like the guys, so you got to talk to the owner. Well, I'll talk to the owner. Did you play last week? Last week was Easter. He didn't play. That counts. So, grabbing people up by the shirt, punch them in the face. Great on skates. Doesn't work so much if they got a knife or a friend. So, getting back into martial arts, I'm looking forward to that. Being on the mats, roll around with a friggin' Brit and have him choke me out, make me feel helpless. Really looking forward to that. It's a good stress release when I'm playing with a friggin' boa constrictor or whatever,
Yeah.
Anaconda. You're just sitting there. It's like, oh.
I can't wait to roll around with.
Pervert. I'm talking about actually fighting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that too. So all that stuff, right? I want you to understand that. Like, if you have some good fighting training and you meet and you get attacked by someone who doesn't have anything, you have a better chance. Okay? But understand the reality of the situation. All right? If I'm fighting somebody bigger than me, they're stronger than me, and they know what they're doing, it doesn't look good for me. If I'm fighting somebody bigger than me, stronger than me, and they don't know what they're doing, I got a much better chance of punching them in their friggin' head and then choking the life out of them. Okay? Same thing with women. If you're fighting somebody and you guys are, have the same amount of training, he's going to be stronger than you. Right? It's going to have to be.
Pull out my tools.
There you go. That's when, like, fist fighting's one thing, you being choked out, but being choked out doesn't work well if she pulls out a knife and friggin' stabs you with it. All right. So if you're fighting somebody and they're trying to choke you and you stick them in the neck with a knife, that works better. I'm just saying. I'm not telling anybody to stick anybody in the neck with a knife.
No.
I'm just saying science says that if they're choking you and you stab them in the neck, you usually do better. Okay? Same thing with a gun. Right? If they're choking you and you shoot them, you usually do better. You may not, but you might. So this is all about fighting in self-defense is all about being better than your attack, having more training, having a better mental game, okay? Stuff like that. So just walking around, like I love people that say, like my favorite is, well, I don't go any place bad. Oh, I didn't know. All these years, people wasting their money buying guns and doing training to defend themselves when all they had to do was just not go someplace bad. That's great. Like, if we could tell everybody that, we wouldn't need the police anymore. Like, just don't go places that are bad and no crime will happen. You guys only do stuff in their neighborhoods, right? So if they live in a shitty neighborhood, they break into those houses to steal shit that ain't there. They would never think about going to your house and friggin' robbing you and then come to find out you're home and they try to kill you. So the whole don't go someplace bad, that's a great defense. That, when people say, well, I just want a gun for the house. It's like, why? Do you feel like you are more likely to get attacked inside your house than outside your house? Yes. Well, you should fucking move then. All right? So start thinking about all this stuff. Like the world is not a good place. All right? It got really bad in the last 4 years. Right? And I don't think it's going to lighten up any. Okay? How sick people are nowadays and how just they're soulless. You know what I mean? Like they do stupid shit. You know, we were watching what was it called? I Almost Got Away with It.
Yeah.
Guy goes in and executes the two people behind the counter, right? And then can't open a safe. So he murdered slaughtered these people for no friggin' reason. I mean, not that getting the $700 out of the safe is a good reason. But he just killed people. He don't care. Like people just shoot people. They get all upset. You know, active shooters, stuff like that. And it's like, you know, the world's a shitty place. Oh, here's something I heard today. Guy was telling me about a guy, like active shooter, up at the top of these stairs, and a guy 50 yards away shoots him in his face or something. And it's like
face. Oh yeah.
Right?
I'm just, I just need a gun because, he's only going to be 3 feet away from me. And I'm going to shoot him in the belly.
Once again, giving someone diarrhea, not a good self-defense plan. That's all I'm saying. You know, may keep them out of like running a marathon or something, but.
The other case, who's it? What's his name from the mall?
Well, I would have told you if you didn't say, what's his name?
I know.
Isaiah, right? Is it Isaiah?
No.
Dickon,
yeah.
Eli
Dickon.
Elijah Dickon.
Yes.
Right? Shot that guy at 40 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me about your 3 feet away, 3 shots in 3 second rule.
Got to train for different distances.
Right. Yes. The majority of gunfights and attacks, all right, gun attacks happen. Like the average is at 5 yards now. Yeah. It's no longer 3 yards. The average is at 5 yards. Okay. So yes, the majority of stuff will happen up close, but people are getting attacked from a distance now because idiots are shooting at people with rifles and they're walking into buildings and stuff like that. And you guys got to understand that. All right. You can't just think that, well, it won't happen to me. That's not the best self-defense plan, just to let you know. Because a lot of people say, I never thought it would happen to me. Oh, well, guess what? Your self-defense plan sucked because it did happen to you. All right.
That's how a lot of your clients for concealed carry plays.
Yep.
They come in after they've been attacked.
Post.
Yep.
All right. So, and it's just, it got to the point where I stopped asking if something that happened because I got sick and tired of just listening to people tell me what horrible, evil shit has happened to them. And it's like, I just didn't want to hear it anymore. You know what I mean? So if you think that shit won't, well, I don't know. It's like this. I've just done like a half hour all this shit to people that are probably cleaning their guns right now while they watch it. So
yeah.
Like looking at each other go, who the fuck do you think he's talking to?
Yeah.
I'm freaking dry firing at your head right now, Mike. Dry firing. Because you told me make sure you dry fire. I don't know, maybe I'll get through to somebody who usually doesn't watch this or something. But, oh shit.
Time flies when you're having fun.
That was quick.
Yeah, it was good.
Time flies when I'm bitching about shit. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Last chance to like, share, all right, comment to let us know that you liked and share. All right. Before we spin the wheel, I'm getting ready to spank the sponsors. I'm going to have another good sip of this because I hate for it to go to waste.
Don't waste it.
I
No,
wouldn't
it's
waste
good
it.
stuff. That's Grey Goose tonight.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
We're goosing it. All right, let's see who's bitching at me now. All right. Sean probably sending me pictures.
Of the barbecue he's making?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sean said he liked and lost count of shares. All right.
All right, so I don't think like anything that I need to read right now.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Lisa Newman.
Lisa.
Yes, we're on for 9:30 tomorrow.
Very good.
Is she on?
She's watching now.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're on for 9:30.
I can't wait to see you, Lisa.
You gonna be in at 9:30?
No, but she's not going to be gone by 10:30, is she?
Well, I got less than 10.
I'll be
So you
there.
got to cruise in a little bit early.
I'll be there.
I'll make her
early.
sit and watch TV till you get there.
There you go.
All right. So let's spank them up. Let's spank the sponsors one more time. We'll get to drawing names. Okay. What's today?
Today's Thursday.
All right. So next week we're gonna do.
It is the 29th.
Next week we're gonna do April and May to see who gets a free hour on the simulator.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna spank them up right now. So our king sponsor, Johnny Custom Glocks. Life is way too short to have a Glock trigger that sucks. So don't have a Glock trigger that sucks. Well, I got a Glock competition. Yeah, we know those are working. So, anyways, all right, go get yourself a Johnny Custom Glocks because he is the best and he's your friend.
Yeah.
It's not often you get to have a guy go, "This is my friend. He's the best in the freaking world." So
you guys say it to each other about each other. Yeah.
He's my boy.
I know.
All right. Our jester sponsor, Sean Hilton at smokeshow3d.com.
Woo-hoo! Yeah, baby.
Excellent. All right. And don't forget to use your FSP 10 to get your 10% off. Go get yourself at least go get an armor's block or a cool keychain like this. Da-da-da-da. Oh, is that Cat's?
Probably. We didn't give her hers, did we? No, we
All right.
didn't. All right.
We'll say that. She likes the red, white, and blue, so we're
Yep.
good. All right.
Definitely.
And let's not forget the Self-Defense Emporium. We're hooking us up with those hours for the simulator that, we should be raffling off, but, we're going to do next week so we have all the names.
Yep.
All right. So next week, you guys can hassle me. Be like, hey, next week's the week. All right. So let's get that wheel up there. Let's get rid of this big ass box. Whoa, that's a big ass wheel. That's what I like to see.
You guys need to come to the Emporium and pick up your stuff. I'm going to be texting you tomorrow.
All right. So this is for the armor's block. All right. So we'll spin 3 times tonight. So the armor's block. Spin it. Stuck. Uh-oh.
There we
Didn't like it? Try again. No, that doesn't count. There we go.
Lisa.
Oh, Lisa gets an armor block. She'll pick it up tomorrow. But it's Claude Hilton 1, World 0. All right, so this is for the first chance to win next week. All right, for a chance to win. Woo! Lisa's on a roll.
Wow.
The Sean Hilton wins tonight.
Did he?
Well, it's 2-0. And we're only gonna spin it one more time, so yeah, he wins. But maybe he can hit for the hat trick. All right, for the other chance to win next week, spin it. Sean for the hat trick. Oh, so who's that? Nezzy. All right. All right, so that's it. We're going to wrap it up. Okay. Hold on. I can't even take it even for 2 seconds. You just can't watch me be like 2 seconds behind myself.
Sure.
There we go.
Really fast tonight. It was great.
Yep. Well, once I stop bitching, time goes by fast. All right. So once again, I want to thank everybody for always checking us out. All right, all the faithfuls. Come down if you haven't seen the place yet, or if you haven't seen it lately. Vern,
It's
Cat.
amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
All right. Come down, check it out. And for everybody else, if you're not coming down, understand that we will be opening soon. All right. And I know I keep saying that, but we're like soon now.
Getting
Okay.
closer
So
all the time.
getting really close. The only thing is, you see me every week, and every week I got to go, yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah.
But I can tell you this. Now we're almost there. All right. So we are like next week, we may be saying first day open is this time. All right. So you'll be seeing us do a show from there. So we're gonna have all you guys come down, check it out, test out the simulator, stuff like that. All right. I'll get some of the instructors in there to help everybody through. Take you in the shoot house. We'll shoot you with simulation so you can see how much it hurts.
Oh boy.
Stuff like that. All the fun stuff. All right. So
Stab him with a knife here and there.
let's wrap this up. Let's let Kerry get out of here 5 minutes early tonight. All right. So once again, thank you very much for always checking us out. All right. See you next week. Peace.
Bye, guys.